What's up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. Something about the underdog. Today we have the mind between Apollon Nutrition. But before we get into this interview, you know I have to give this man's brand a proper Underdog Talk introduction. Today's brand hails from Apollon Gym in Edison, New Jersey. A brand that believes in providing transparent labels on all their products. A Stack 3D brand of the year. And finally, a brand that partnered with our guy, the Texas Titan, Mr. Branch Warren. I am proud and honored to present Pollen Nutrition with the man behind it all, Mr. Robert Samborsky. What is up, sir? How are you doing today?
Thank you for the introduction. Wow, that was, I think, the most interesting and colorful introduction I've ever had. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming on. I think the highlight of that, well, there's two highlights, but the Stack 3D brand of the year, that's a big achievement, Robert. And that's something that's gonna, I know this was in 2021, and I don't know if they've released a 2021 brand of the year yet for Stack 3D, but when Stack 3D says you're the brand of the year, that's when they turn. So congratulations on that achievement
Thank you.
for you and your brand. Now, Robert, before we start this interview, you guys just dropped a limited edition ruby chocolate protein powder. Now, the thought of it makes my mouth water, and I can't lie, I'm not familiar with what ruby chocolate is. So, Robert, what actually is ruby chocolate?
Um, you know what? The funny thing is, a couple of months ago, I had no idea what it is. Honestly, I didn't even know it exists. A very good friend of mine, who shall remain anonymous, actually brought up the flavor to my attention, and he basically said, like, well, this is actually, a very popular flavor elsewhere in the world, not United States. And I'm a firm believer, and that's the reason why I support so many brands that are doing something outside the box, something not necessarily innovative, but something different. Different is always good in my opinion because it gives element of surprise, and it also makes you look like you're actually willing to try something that others don't. And it's all about taking a risk, whether it's a business or even sometimes personal decisions. Without taking a risk, you never know whether you're gonna accomplish anything in life, whether you're gonna succeed or not. And the most successful businessmen, most successful um, politicians, actors, they known for taking a risk, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. So it piqued my interest, as it was something I've never heard about. And then a friend of mine suggested that apparently Whole Foods, the chain of supermarkets, sells ruby chocolate. And I went in there, we got to try it, and it was very interesting because not only I've never heard about it, and apparently it's very popular in Europe. It's an actual chocolate bean. It's not something that you mix together. It's not some sort of concussion or whatever it is. It's an actual chocolate. It just happens to be that it tastes, even though it does not contain white chocolate, it's an actual chocolate. It's an actual ruby chocolate, but it does taste similar as if you would mix white chocolate and raspberries. It's a very interesting, different, not for everybody. It's, like you have chocolate people and you have vanilla people. This is something I would say not necessarily bizarre, but different, kind of like, a dessert that some people like and some people not really into. But we actually talked to the manufacturer, who obviously was clueless. He didn't know what to do. We said, like, listen, we can play with different flavors and try to duplicate it. I actually bought him chocolate for his team, and they were trying chocolate in the office, and they were trying to match it. And the funny thing is that they succeeded on the second try. First one was but the second one they nailed it. It was very, very similar to the actual experience. And that's it. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that, this is gonna be the biggest thing ever or this is gonna be the best seller, because simply I don't think so actually. I think that it's something very, very unique, and you're gonna have people that are gonna love it, and you're gonna have people. It's like coconut, not everybody likes coconut, but people that like that type of white chocolate raspberry type of flavor, they're gonna go crazy for it because it's really that good.
And obviously it's not your top, selling flavor or even product. But I like the uniqueness aspect. I mean, so many products are just going regular chocolate, chocolate fudge, Belgian chocolate. No, you guys took it to a different level, and I love that because it's so simple, but yet it stands out in terms of just being unique. And it's a little detail that will, help you guys. And I love that. I mean, that caught my attention right away. Robert, and I got to add one more thing. You, sir, are, excuse my French, a bad motherfucker. As Robert, you actually, I don't know how many people know this, but Robert, you're a fighter. And I'm not saying like that, like as a mental, no, you are a literal fighter. Would you mind talking a little bit about this?
Um, it's funny because, say, for example, you go to, I don't know, what would be a good example? Uh, you go to an art school, right? And you have a bunch of artists, and they into art and paintings and whatnot. And you're somebody who used to, I don't know, practice fighting a little bit, nothing substantial. Then you go to an art school and you actually look like a bad motherfucker, I mean, you're impressive. You're like, whoa, he's a fighter, even though you're not a UFC champion or anything like that. That's how I feel in the supplement industry. You have a bunch of pussies, so when you come in and you had a couple of fights, all of a sudden, everybody thinks that you're a fucking Muhammad Ali or something. I'm nothing special in terms of like fight world. I'm not a world champion or anything like that. Just somebody who trained martial arts, somebody who trained Muay Thai, somebody who competed a couple of times. And yeah, I've been in the ring. I did fight. I do have, mm, I would say a good record, but it's not a huge record where I have like 105 fights. I have a couple of fights, and mostly wins. I only have one loss. And coming to the industry where people would find out that I've done it, there's a couple of pictures and videos, and people can see that I'm into it. I like it. It's part of my life, and I do enjoy it. But does not mean that I walk around beating up people. But at the same time, I'm very outspoken. So I don't hold back. I call it as I see it. And I think that combined with the fact that I did martial arts and I did compete, gives people a false idea that I'm this guy that, you shouldn't be fucking with, which in reality, you know what, I'm probably the last person to fight. If I see a fight, I'll probably be the first one to run.
Robert, Robert, you and me both. I mean, I'm running away in a fight. I'm a little pussy. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not even a lover. I'm just not a fighter. But no, Robert, I wouldn't. And Robert, I think if we did get into a scrap, I'd add one. You'd add one more win to your record. But Robert, I want to look at your amazing brand today.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Apollon, nutrition. You guys, and it's sister brand too. Uh, Anarchy Labs companies founded on the principles of delivering, high quality supplements. Now, you and your wife founded this hardcore brand. So first, Robert, why create a supplement brand? And then what goes into creating a supplement brand?
Mm, you know what? Typically, when people get into a business, they getting into it to obviously, to be successful and to make money. I mean, that's the reason why we start anything in life, to be successful. I kind of went. Excuse me, I have a bit of a sore throat. I went slightly different route where I still own Apollon Gym, and we kind of known for not only some of the pretty good athletes that came out of Apollon, like Rich Gaspari, of course,
I
uh,
forgot.
but we also known locally for protein shakes, and in 2014, the prices of protein were skyrocketing, kind of the way they do right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we kind of had this idea that what like how you walk into any establishment and you see they have their own water bottle, they have they branded water bottle. I mean, all they do is just order water and they slap, their own label on it, and that's it. It means absolutely nothing. It's not like they manufacture it or anything like that. They have a water resource. It's just a marketing gimmick.
Yeah.
But we were successful into talking to a manufacturer who agreed to do very, very, very small quantities on the formulas that I would provide to sell specifically at the gym. It was never intended to be sold out anywhere else. It was intended only for Apollon Gym. In fact, the first order we had was only 30 units. 30 units of pre-workout and 30 units, I believe, of creatine, and 30 units of two flavors of protein, chocolate and vanilla. And that was it. I just said, you know what, I would like isolate and casein, and I would like a badass pre-workout that would specifically cater to people that go to Apollon, which is kind of a hardcore or old school, crowd. So something that hits pretty hard. And I remember I was among the first ones, if not the first one, to have a pre-workout that had 450 milligram of caffeine in 2015. And I remember the manufacturer go like, "Are you fucking insane?"
Yeah.
So I was kind of sort of, I guess you can say, a pioneer when it came to it. Um, and then that's it. I mean, we had people stopping by from other gyms, if they can get a pre-workout or if they can get a protein shake or they can buy a tub of protein. So our orders kept increasing. And within a year or two, I think we were already selling online. And again, very, very, very small quantities. If we would order probably 1,000 units, that would last us past expiration date because it wasn't something that we were selling to stores or anything like that. But like I said, I think that the fact that we didn't try to re-innovate ourselves, we didn't try to kind of branch out and try to be somebody, kind of lose our identity and try to be competitive with other brands. It was never my intention to compete with anyone, even though today I do know that we obviously have
Yes.
competition. We pretty much in the open market of supplements, and we do have competitors, and we do have people that even try to be like us, which is, I guess, normal. But it was never an intention, and I think that that's what made the brand successful. Because I don't think we've made the mistake that we probably could have made if we went guns blazing and tried to borrow money from investors and try to go mainstream and try to go with all the false ads and try too hard. We didn't try that hard. It just kind of happened. But I think, like with anything in life, when you have a successful brand or you have a successful film or you successful any product, the word of mouth kind of spreads and people start demanding more. And as the demand grows, so is the obvious supply.
I totally agree. And I think also the one thing about your supplement brand is it's good. People aren't going to want shitty products. People want good products. And that's the reason why you guys did, start taking off, because you do have good products. Now, I'm going to sound like an idiot. Everyone's probably thinking, why am I calling him Robert when clearly it does not say Robert on the screen? Robert, you are Ukrainian, so I don't even want to. I'm not even going to try and butcher your Ukrainian name. But how do you say it?
No, actually, you the one who calls me by my actual name, surprisingly.
All right.
The thing is that I was born in the western part of Ukraine, which is on the border of Hungary, and the name Robbie uh, is kind of, I would say, popular, sort of.
Mhm.
And everybody called me Robbie,
Yeah.
and but my mom, on my birth certificate, she put Robert. I mean, that's my actual name,
All right.
even though. Even here, some of the Russian-speaking Ukrainian people, when they see Robert, they say, "What is your actual name?" My actual name is Robert. That's my name. I mean, yes, people call me Rob. People still call me Robbie, but I think that my ex-wife called me Robik, which is kind of like a very gentle, nice way of calling me Robbie. She called me that a couple, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And, I think that it kind of like spread out. Well, there were a few people started calling me that. And I liked it. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it kind of stuck. Robik, like that's what a lot of people call me, and it was very very surprising when English speaking people also started calling me that because obviously of the accent. I was like, okay, this is pretty funny. You know what? It's gonna stick.
I'm not all right. Good. I'm glad because the guys from Sub Talk Radio, they said they're that you're a personal friend of them, and they go, you
He
know,
lies. I can't stand him.
oh really?
No, I'm kidding. No,
Ah,
Sean is a good guy.
he goes, Robik is a very close personal friend. Expect the unexpected. I go, who's Robik? And they go, Apollon or Robert is his American name. I go, oh yeah, all right, gotcha. I was like, no, now I'm glad I was
See, my friends or people at least think that my friends don't even know my real name. That
you
says a
see
lot, right?
at the Underdog Talk, we're calling the man behind Apollon supplements his real name. I don't know what all these other fools are talking about. Now, I do want to look at your brand a little more. Your most popular supplements are the hardcore pre-workouts, hardcore nootropics, and extreme fat burners. Guys, if you are looking for an aggressive pre-workout, please go check out Assassin, pre-workout and Good pre-workout because those made me feel some type of way, which no girl has ever made me feel. You won't be disappointed. But now I have to ask, did you create your brand to be an extreme supplement company and have, more hardcore stim products than normal? Because unfortunately, in this new supplement industry, it's not that hardcore supplements that so many people were used to with like Jack 3D and all those older brands. It's more of a, you know, three products kind of passive ingredient blend. So was your goal to be a hardcore supplement company, Robert?
My goal was to be a good supplement company. That was, I think, that was the goal because when I entered, I guess the arena, um, I saw a lot of obvious. I mean, I used to do a lot of contest preps, and I used to help people get ready for bodybuilding shows and diets for fighters and whatnot. And obviously, supplements had to be used,
Yeah.
and it wasn't very easy to find. I mean, of course, I had a couple of brands that I liked,
Mhm.
but it was very interesting to see that there are so many prop blends and there are so many brands that were either cutting corners, were dishonest. I mean, it's still the case today. I mean, 90% probably of the industry, and that's probably me being nice, are, let's call it for what it is. It's shit. It's absolute garbage. It's dog shit.
Yeah.
So when say, oh my God, there is so much competition, it's so competitive, it's not. It's not competitive at all, because the thing is that when you look, and this is maybe pride or maybe the fact that I stand by what I do, but there are not many Lamborghinis out there. There are not many Ferraris out there. You have those unique, exquisite, luxury, beautifully done, expensive cars, and then you have a lot of, they're all pretty much more or less the same. So I think that the goal was not. Yes, I mean initially the goal was to cater to our industry, to my gym, not
Yeah.
even the industry, to my gym, and my gym. They demand the best. They demand. You have a lot of athletes. Obviously, they want to put in their bodies. Transparent supplements. They want to know how much protein they get. They want to know what's in their pre-workout. And yes, the crowd that goes to Apollon, for most part, those are the ones that want to have those 4, 5, 600 milligram of caffeine. Which, if you think about it today, I mean, 2 servings of Bang gives you 600 milligram of caffeine, and that's pretty much what people do. So I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm not going to say it's a bad thing either. We already came to realization that 5, 600 milligram of caffeine is not necessarily bad. It's something that if you can handle it, look, I mean, I own a Palm, and 600 milligram of caffeine, it's not something that I typically use.
Mhm.
Although I'm a coffee drinker, so I'm pretty sure my caffeine intake somewhere around there on a daily basis. But it's not something that it's a must. However, if Hooligan or Assassin are for you, then
Mhm.
great. If it's not, by all means, go use another brand. You have choices, and I have absolutely no problem with it. But the goal today is, since we are in open market, since we are selling supplements, since we are catering to audience outside Apollon Gym, I would say worldwide. Today is the goal to deliver the best possible supplements for people that want the type of products that we make. But again, if you want something a little bit weaker or different, by all means, you have choices. But I think in terms of having good supplements or a good line, I still don't think we have that much in terms of competition. We do, but it's not what everybody says. Oh, but there are so many brands. Yes, correct. There are so many brands, but there are so many shit brands, and that's what you kind of forgetting. Majority of the brands are still garbage.
Yes, I totally agree. And I mean, if that pre-workout from Apollon, is too much, I mean, the no bare knuckle blood sport. I mean, if you're looking for a pump and you don't want that extra caffeine, I mean, check that out because that is again. I mean, I'm not connected, but this brand, but I mean, these products are truly. Robert's not lying. I mean, I'm a neutral source. They are really damn good, and yet 600 milligrams of caffeine is not for everyone. But if it is for you and you can handle it, then so be it. Now, I'm very interested in this next question. Where do you see this brand down the road? What's next for you guys?
It's funny because we had this conversation during yesterday's meeting with my partner, with the CEO of the company, Carolina,
Mhm.
and we had this discussion that every year since launching in 2015, we had consistent growth, and it seems like 2022 will once again be a lot stronger than the previous year, than 2021. I think we already beat 2021, if I'm not mistaken, or very close to it. But the question is like, if we have a serious brand and we have a serious approach and we want to continue growing, which I don't see why not, then the question remains is what's next? Because now you have to plan. Now you can't just go, oh, look, we have a product, let's sell it. Now we have to see how we can expand and we can grow. And I think there's still room to grow. Obviously, winning brand of the year from Stacked, and also Review Brothers and Stop Talk Radio. um it gave us a momentum, and it gave us an opportunity to grow to the new audiences and to expand to new horizons. And I think that right now, 2 3 years ago, if you asked the Paul, people would go like, who? This was like a very kind of a niche, um you know almost like a closed society, like a secret society. Today, when you say Apollon, a lot of people know what you're talking about. So I think sky is not, well, let's not exaggerate. I think that we definitely did not reach our, full potential. I don't think we, not even near our full potential. And I would like to continue growing just because in nature, I'm very, very competitive.
Yes.
I'm extremely competitive. If I see somebody who is even, because let's face it, there are a couple of companies that try to imitate what we do, and when I see it, I'm flattered, but also there is no chance in living hell that I'm going to let them beat me. It's just not going to happen, because I'm willing to do something that they not.
Yeah.
I was willing to go to Thailand and fight at the age of 42 when people said that it was absolute suicide and stupid. So I am willing to go where others probably won't dare to go. So if they try to beat me, good luck. I enjoy competing. But at the same time, I think that we haven't even gotten close to where we can be. And the the truth is we're going to stick to what we do. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheels. I'm not going to try to, to be inspired or Ghost or Jim or any of those. Not saying those are bad brands, not at all. But
Mhm.
I'm just not trying to be them, and hopefully they're not going to try to be me. I don't step on their territory. I give them props for what they accomplish, but at the same time, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to do a poem, and I'm going to try to kind of stick in our lane and just move forward.
I totally agree. Be you and things will work out. I think that's something that I've learned, you know, now. And then the signing of the Texas Titan Branch Warren just again was another big step in the right direction. Having such a legendary guy, be one of the faces of your brand is so key. So congratulations on that.
Okay.
Now, Robert, finally, I have to end this. You've had decades of experience in the health and fitness industry. So, besides being a CEO, you are actually an athlete too. I'm going to say it, you're an athlete, a badass athlete. Now, I have to ask, what is the biggest tip for someone looking to start their fitness journey? And then, what is the biggest tip for someone looking to start their own company? It doesn't have to be a supplement company, but a company in general.
Woof. I have to admit, you ask tough questions, and I like it because it's different from from the rest. What is your favorite steak or whatever? Um, the which is not a bad question either.
No, it's not.
The truth is, when it comes to being an athlete, what separates, I think, and by all means, that does not mean that I'm some great athlete, but I am an athlete, and I do appreciate it, and I take it with pride because when I see, and I'm going to be very honest, when I see somebody who is in charge of a gym or a supplement company or anything that is related to health industry, a lot of people are not going to like what I'm about to say. If I see that you're a fat, disgusting fuck, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say unacceptable. Unless, of course, you have a medical condition, because let's face it, some people do. I don't think you have an excuse because lead by example. Somebody who is a math teacher, in most cases, he's better than his students. He sets an example. He's teaching. He's preaching something that he already knows. So if you're overweight and you don't have an excuse, meaning again you have a medical condition, uh, I'm sorry, but I think that you should lead by example. And for me to be the owner of Apollon Gym and Apollon Nutrition, for me to be out of shape, if again, it's almost like a disclaimer. If I don't have a medical condition, I don't think it's acceptable. I'm 47 years old, and I still try. I'm not saying I'm succeeding, but I'm trying my best to look a certain way and and I try to make sure that I train 5, 6 days a week, no matter what. It has to be done. I still get up in the morning and I do my fasted cardio. Don't get me wrong. People do know that I love to eat, and by love to eat does not mean I love chicken and fish. I
You do
actually like, yeah, I like cheeseburgers. I love pizza. I love all that stuff. I mean, that's the reason why I say, when some people accuse me of the fact, like, oh, why are you posting all the pictures of of junk food? Because it fucking tastes good. It tastes good. Would you really like to see on my page a picture of a chicken breast?
no.
Or or something, or a true delicacy, something that tastes good, and probably ask me, where did you get it? Maybe I can go to that restaurant. Where can you recommend? So even though I love it, it's the key is balance.
Yes.
You can enjoy good meal, but also you have to get off the couch and you have to put in the work and you have to try and be as healthy as you can be.
Agreed.
I do regular checkups. I never deny the fact that I am using TRT. I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. I have used steroids before. Never said they were bad. I don't condone the use of them, but unfortunately, when you get to a certain level, it's almost inevitable. But even that can be done with responsible attitude, where you do regular checkups and you talk to doctors and you being smart about it, as long as you don't abuse it and do it for the wrong reasons. But to be in shape is not that difficult if you commit yourself to looking and feeling a certain way. And I think the same applies to business in a way. To be a successful businessman, yes, there is always a risk because you're investing money, you're investing your time, you're investing your resources. But without taking that risk, without taking that chance, you never know whether you could be successful or not. You don't have to spend the very last dollar that you have from your family, but you can definitely, if you strongly believe in something and you're careful, I mean, as careful as you can be because nobody's safe, then you can achieve a lot of things in life. I'm preaching here as if I am this, role model or anything like that. I'm not. I failed. Even with Apollon, I had a few failures. I did, misfire a couple of times, but that's how you get better. That's how you learn. That's how you get better in life.
Yes.
And you can apply yourself to whether you're an athlete, or you can apply yourself whether you're a businessman, or a father, or a husband, or a friend. You can always get better as long as you want to be better.
Yeah.
But without sounding too philosophical, it's not that hard. It's not that hard as long as you apply. I mean, you and I connected last week
Yeah.
to do a podcast. What did we do? You were interested. I liked the idea as well. I thought, I looked you up and I liked your approach.
Yeah.
And the answer, was yes almost instantly. The only thing we had to figure out is, between our crazy schedules, is the time.
Right.
And we had to move it once or twice, but here we are.
And I agree, Robert. Again, that was on me. I got called into work, and it's just
Nah, that's fine.
crazy lifestyle. I mean, you need shit. I don't need to tell you, you're a CEO and a fucking owner. Now, Robert, I've misfired a few times, in bed and in life. Oh God. But I agree on your point in terms of, and this is gonna sound, this is a positive talk and this is a positive podcast, but I agree. I don't, if you do not have a medical reason and you are out of shape, it's hard for me to feel sympathy for you, just because I believe anyone can do it. Again, like you said, with medical reasons and all that. Now, I will say one thing: if you are overweight or you are not living the healthiest lifestyle and you are trying your hardest, I will have so much fucking respect for you, and I will do anything for you. I don't even need to know you. If I see you at the gym, I will literally go and hype you up, because that's something too that the I love it. I'm not going to hype someone up for going eating donuts and just, not trying. But for someone who's out of shape and trying to get into that fitness lifestyle and working their ass off, that is one of the biggest moments where I'm like, that's just respect. That's respect. And I love what you said on that. I think, especially in today's age, obesity is at a sky high. You know, obesity related, illnesses are at a sky high. So why keep that track? Why not try and change, people for the better? Because they might be fit, they might be mentally, okay, but physically they're not okay. And one thing I've learned is you have to be both mentally and physically, sound to be the best version of yourself. So Robert, I truly agree. Now, I mean, I am talking with Mr. Robert, the CEO of Apollon Nutrition, one of the best brands, one of the upcoming brands, probably one of the most hardcore supplements we've had on the show. Now, Robert, I know you are a busy guy. I mean, you're a CEO, an owner, an athlete, and the list just goes on. A
Well,
taste.
actually, Carolina is the CEO. I'm kind of just a helper.
All right. I won't even. I will say helper, owner, helper, Jim. Chocolate, ruby chocolate taster. Now, Robert, before we end this interview, I love to get my guests out of here with some rapid fire questions, and I'm sure you
Go
haven't
ahead.
some of these questions before. So let's get it. And then this
Absolutely.
one, I'm on a diet right now. I'm on a cut. I have my bodybuilding show in 2 weeks. So this one might be, I don't even know why I'm asking this. Favorite Ukrainian food?
Oh fuck. Uh, I mean, Ukrainians are known for their borscht, which
Yeah.
is well, everybody knows what that is. But I'm gonna go with something that uh, there's a reason behind this.
Okay.
There's a Ukrainian delicacy called the Kiev cake, which is it's I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest. A lot of times it's made with hazelnuts and cream and stuff. So it's for everybody who's interested. I'm not a chef, I'm not a baker, but look up Kiev cake. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised. And I think every city in the United States, they have a Russian Ukrainian supermarket. Do yourself a favor, try the cake. You're gonna thank me.
I'm putting that on my nose right now, because after my diet, that will be the first thing. God, that sounds damn good. Damn. Now, favorite Apollyon product?
Oh, fuck. You know what? It's funny because when you ask anyone about their brand, they're gonna say, "All my products. I take all my products. My products are the best." I don't take my all my products. There's no need for it. But favorite probably gonna be, even though I don't use it that much. But my baby is always gonna be Hooligan, because that was, you know, It's one of my favorite movies. Everybody knows that I named the product after the movie Green Street Hooligans. Um, I'm a huge soccer fanatic as well,
Yeah.
and that product kind of put us on a map, and it put us on a map in a good and bad way because we had so many critics who were so against it, and they were saying they were trying to kill people, and such a bad product and whatnot. Today, Hooligan, when I see it on the top three list, even with people like Ryan, the fitness informant, who was actually against the product himself.
Really?
We clashed a couple of times, and to see that the product actually today, 6, 7 years later, kind of has like almost like a legendary status, I would say. Hooligan is very, very well known, very well respected. So I would say, I call Hooligan my baby, and I think that that's my favorite and always going to be the product that is closest to my heart. But in terms of using the products, I would say when it comes to protein, I still like our 50/50 Formula X peanut butter cookie flavor.
Mhm.
I love that one. When it comes to pre-workout, that might sound like a pussy because it has only 275 milligram of caffeine, but Lionheart is definitely my go-to. Um, and then sporadically, fat burners I use if needed. I'm not going to say that I'm using them as multivitamins on a daily basis. So those are probably my favorite products.
Damn, I love it. Now, Robert, I'm sure you've never heard this next question in your life, and I was formulating it in my mind.
Shit.
This is something I haven't. This is something I didn't even think before, but I had to ask it. Go one on one in a soccer match against Ukrainian legend Shevchenko, who I'm a big fan of. I have his jersey, or have to skydive. And going against Shevchenko, it's on live TV, so everyone will see you get. I'm going to say it, Robert. You're an athlete.
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a question. So, okay, you just called me a badass, bad motherfucker in the beginning of the show. So, I'm scared of heights. So, skydiving is out. I'm scared of dark. I'm claustrophobic. So, so basically, I'm a pussy. So, I will take my chances against Shevchenko and get embarrassed just so people don't see me cry like a little bitch when it comes to skydiving. So either way, I'm fucked.
Yeah, yeah. I can't really. Yeah, yeah. Last question. Now, this is a big one. No more bare knuckle blood sport for a year, or no more assassin pre-workout. Actually, you know what? Screw it. No any Apollon pre-workouts for a year.
You mean for myself to use?
Yes, you cannot use your pump for a year, or you cannot use one of your pre-workouts for a year.
Oh, well, since I'm not that much into heavy weights in terms of lifting and stuff like that, I know pump is big. Everybody wants a good pump. I can. This is really gonna surprise everybody. You know what? I could easily say no to bare knuckle, and I can easily say no to assassin. So it's really not that difficult for me. So I'll just make product for other people to use. I'm not going to use either one of them, but Lionheart is going to be tough for me to avoid. So, both those products can go fuck themselves and somebody else can use them.
You are the first person on this show to do that, and I don't know whether honestly, I don't even know what to say on that. I mean, guys, we are talking with Mr. Robert Samborsky, one of the best in the industry. And I'm going to say it, Robert. Don't say anything about, no, I'm okay. No, you are a badass motherfucker. It's been such an honor and privilege kicking it with you. Now, Robert, it's, again, been an honor. And I'm still thinking of that last answer and the Kiev cake, too, and Shevchenko. I've got a lot on my mind right now. But before we go, the floor is yours. Where can we find your gym? Where can we find your products? Where can we find your content? Anything you want to plug, sir, the floor is yours.
Well, the gym is in Edison, New Jersey. And everybody is welcome, of course. It's truly a unique experience. I'm still just a fan of Apollon Gym after all these years, and I live about 45, 50 minutes away. There's the gym around the corner from my house, and I still, I would prefer to train at Apollon, especially when it comes to weights. But in terms of Apollon Nutrition, besides, of course, our website, apollonnutrition.com, I'm proud today to say that Apollon Nutrition is readily available pretty much everywhere. So that's a good thing. No longer do you have to go to like one store in out of 10 states to find a product. You can literally find it in every state. You can find it online. And, it would be very unfair if I would say that just Apollon Nutrition. No, thankfully and proudly, you can find it pretty much anywhere. You can Google it. You can find it in your nearest supplement store, at least if your supplement store is any good. In terms of the floor is mine. Honestly, I just want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody who still believes in us after 70 years, who's been with us from day one, and those who just found out about the brand, whether it's from Stacked or or through channels, platforms like yours. I think that the brand, if you haven't tried it, it's definitely worth checking it out because at least you know that what you see is what you get. We pack in terms of ingredients and dosages. We absolutely fucking pack them to the max.
Yes.
So you always know that you're not never gonna get something where a brand is trying to cut corners or we try to cheapen the product. It's just not gonna happen ever. And it pains me to say when I see some of the brands that I won't name, of course, but when I see some of the brands that I looked up to in a way or respected, and then I see they watering down their products, and we see it all the time. That's very, very heartbreaking. And one thing with Apollon is it's my personal guarantee that that will never be the case. It's just impossible. In fact, I talked to one of the store owners last week, and the owner of another brand, pretty reputable brand, actually stopped by his store and he grabbed, I think it was Hooligan, and he says, I have no idea how Apollon makes money. They absolutely packing their fucking products. And you know what? The truth is, we are making money. We are successful. We probably don't do well in terms of margins like some people who make $6, $7 per workout and sell it for 40, $50. But you know what? It's business. And if they find a consumer and they find a customer, then so be it. It's good for them. We're just going to do us. And I think that if thus far, our approach made us as successful as we are today, I think we can do even better as long as we stay to this rather simple formula. That's it.
I I I agree. There's big things ahead for this brand. I mean, I literally walked into a supplement store yesterday, and sitting right there was Hooligan. So wow. I mean, going big places. Growth is key in life. Constant growth is key, and this brand is all about it. Now, that talk of Kiev cake, ruby chocolate has made me hungry as hell. And now I'm not gonna have any of that. I have to kill egg whites and egg yolks. It has been such an honor.
Thank you so much.
Check out Apollon Nutrition. Check out Robert's content. But until next time, guys, Underdog out.